Good morning, video games. Welcome to Filthy Casuals, a podcast about video games hosted by two very kind and extremely knowledgeable boys. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tommy Dasilo, and of course, joining me, as is his wont.
It's Ben Vanel here. I'm still a little sleepy from staying up and watching the massive Nintendo Direct on Friday night. I was out. I was at an important family function, and my boss was there, and both of my girlfriends were there.
Right.
And I had to make all these excuses to all of them so I could run home and watch the Switch Direct, because I have to watch it on a TV, obviously, not on my phone, because that would be rude.
And you were saying that you're tired from that. It was like 4 days ago now. You have, of course, been hitting the glass Barbie every time you watch one of these presentations. And you kept saying during the Direct, you're like, only zero sleeps until we record Filthy Casuals.
It was great. I got a lot of work done, a lot of cleaning as well. It's been a fantastic weekend.
Settled a few arguments with the voices in my head. I really took them to task and put them in their place.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of, arguments online over the weekend too.
Oh, yeah. There's a comedian called Sean Smith who has a bit about being addicted to meth at one point, and the bit, I'll butcher it, but it's basically you become really paranoid and you think that everyone can read your thoughts. And the thing is, everyone can read your thoughts because you're walking around just speaking them out loud.
Fuck.
Good shit.
Great shit. I mean, good for material. Just set the recorder going. Terrible for life, but absolutely
great for the craft.
Long-time listeners will know that I used to live in the same building as a meth dealer.
Oh, sure.
So eventful. A lot of people ringing the doorbell and yelling at 3 a.m. A lot of guys in high vis. Not to point any fingers, but sometimes it's hard to get up at 5 a.m. and hit the job site.
I've never been around anyone doing meth. I've never known of anyone that I know doing meth. But have you ever smelt that smell of it when you
Well, I've smelled it in my own building.
Well, of course, yeah. It's kind of a scary smell. You know what I mean? Because it's I've known people that have done have done most other drugs, or there's a covert element to it. But the fact that it has such a strong smell, you just know you're I'm in the presence of a truly evil essence.
Yes, burning chemicals and burning hair. It's fucking a beautiful aroma.
an evil little presence. Completely life ruining.
Outside that house, I also had the famous Melbourne cum trees. So quite a heady brew.
Are they a big enough online thing that people outside of there's trees that are they native to Australia, or
I don't think they are. I feel like they were brought by the English and planted everywhere because they kind of have a very European look, kind of half sort of an oak tree but a bit smaller. I think they were purposefully planted, and they go fucking nuts right about now, this time of year. Spring is in the air, the pollen and the cum is flying. Just give them a Google, and be careful about the phrasing when you look it up.
I feel like we've talked about them before, because I used to live near a big one and I would go for a run and I would go past it every day. And before you know that it's a thing, when you just experience one that's near you, you do kind of think you're going insane. And you kind of go, I can't bring this up to anyone. I'm never going to be able to have a discussion about this and figure out what's going on. The risk of going do you guys ever go past that tree that smells like cum and then go, what are you talking about? Is just
are
not
you on
worth
meth?
It. Yeah.
So I found a great article from Vice.com, my only trusted news source.
Yep.
They are the ornamental pear, They're originally a Chinese tree, so they're actually probably imported over the past sort of couple of 100 years. And they smell like cum. It's to attract insects.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. And I don't know why they smell like cum specifically.
So if you're an insect flying around and someone's just whacked off, you're like, oh, that man smells like one of those trees.
Yeah, I better go pollinate that dick. Anyway, I know this is all super relevant to the topic of our podcast, but there was actually more video games related news this week. It wasn't just cum trees. It was the biggest and cummiest tree of all, the Nintendo.
The big 1 hour long, absolutely mammoth gooning sesh that Nintendo dropped on us.
What is it? Is it like pigs that can come for half an hour or something?
I don't know if I've heard that one before.
Okay, I'm Googling it.
Get in. Have a squeeze.
Yes, pig orgasms can last 30 minutes. A 2012 study found that high-performance boars have an average
That's what I've
ejaculation of
sometimes
6
been
minutes.
referred to as. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I go rooting around for those truffles, let me tell you.
I'm high performing, but I'm quite a bore.
So this was 2 coming pigs worth of information from Nintendo.
Yep.
Big one. We'd all kind of been speculating about this to align with the 40th anniversary of those 2 cheeky little Italian plumbers we know as Mario and Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, and it was Friday night too, because that was the actual date of the anniversary.
Yes.
That was kind of that was a funny one. Friday evening here. I guess Friday morning in the States and other parts of the world. But this was a hefty one. Let's go through the damn thing.
Let's run down this big old 1 hour. Obviously, they start with like, hey, it's the 40th anniversary of the boys. And obviously there's going to be huge events, huge releases, lots of cool stuff, which boiled down to a special print on a ticket and
so Big Shiggy
events.
comes out to begin with. Always great seeing him on camera, doing the thing that they love doing in these presentations, where if there's like a specific theme to what they're talking about, they've got like a printed T-shirt with the logo on it, but then they're wearing it under a blazer, so it kind of cuts off the entire design. So I found it funny that he's talking about it being the 40th anniversary of Mario, and the way that the design was kind of cropped on his shirt with his blazer, you could only see Luigi. It's like you can't even see the thing that he's talking about that he created. Seems like a wardrobe malfunction if ever I've seen one.
Oh, absolutely. It does make it feel like it's a covert year of Luigi again, which I mean, we're not ready for that. Can we start the year of Luigi over again?
But this was this Direct overall, some really good stuff in it. A bit of a mixed bag, and I thought overall this Mario 40th anniversary section was quite underwhelming. Like some good stuff in there, don't get me wrong, but in terms of it being sort of hyped up as this 40th anniversary celebration, there was nothing in there that I would consider to be like inherently about the anniversary. This is all stuff that just kind of would have been happening anyway, and they just conveniently were able to go like, okay, it's the 40th anniversary. So the big thing was the reveal of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. That's the title of it, and the release date of it. And that's cool and all. That's April next year.
Right.
But I mean, that movie was coming along anyway. They haven't shuffled this along to be to be coincided with the anniversary. It's just a happy coincidence.
Yeah. They should have made the plot about Mario turning 40 and having like a midlife crisis.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot already in the world. He can get a sports car to race in Mario Kart.
Yep.
He can date baby Daisy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, the 35th, they had that cool little the online game where you would play level 1 of Mario Brothers, and you'd be playing against, I think 35 other people at once, and what you did in the level would kind of affect all of the other different people playing it. I think people were hoping for just like something cool of that nature that really lent into the fact that it was that like a little timed anniversary celebration. So we got
looking back over the 35th one, they announced Paper Mario: The Origami King. They also released that Super Mario Brothers 35, which was the online thing.
Yep.
They released Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, which doesn't exactly relate, but that was cool.
It was something.
The 3D All Stars pack, which ended up not being great, but and then Mario 3D World Remake plus Bowser's Fury, or remaster plus Bowser's Fury. That was all in that announcement. That's all very, very cool. There was like a Game and Watch with Super Mario Brothers stuff.
The Game and Watch thing. See, that was
the lost levels.
Cool. And I guess that was not that long ago. It was only 5 years ago, I guess. So they kind of used up a lot of that stuff that you can't just kind of do all over again. But
they did. They announced Lego Super Mario. Like that shit was announced at that event.
Yeah, right.
Which is that's also like super cool. That's an ongoing, bunch of like really cool Lego sets. Like that feels like, it's a bit more.
The All Stars collection was pretty, not lackluster because they're great games, but bare bones, not upgraded, not remastered or anything like that. But at that time, 64 games weren't on the Switch. GameCube games weren't on the Switch. Wii games still aren't on the Switch. So just like being able to get, and the way they did it was a bit weird, but just even being like, here's this pack that is like an anniversary thing of some of the big games. Yeah. Even that felt like, I think maybe like the original Mario All-Stars dropped on the Switch Online on the Super Nintendo. Right. Maybe like that day as part of it as well. And so the closest thing we kind of got to that was a re-release of Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for the Switch and Switch 2. Yep. It's coming out, I think it's October 2nd. It's a double pack. It's a physical double pack of 1 and 2, or you can buy them both individually as a download, which is great because when they were saying that it was one pack, I was like, I mean, this is so stupid because those of us who care, we have Galaxy 1 from that All-Stars collection. Yeah. I don't need it in another. So thankfully you can get 2 separately. Yep. I mean, 2 being the big thing that is sort of the anniversary thing, I guess, which they could have just dropped at any point and just definitely should have been a part of that original All-Stars collection. Seems crazy, or if not the All-Stars collection, just definitely like dropped at some point previous to this. Yep. But it's a fantastic game. Both of those games are fantastic games. If you didn't grab that All-Stars collection because it was a timed release, if you've not played the Galaxy games, that double pack is going to be a fantastic way to play both of them, and
can really scratch that 3D Mario itch.
Yeah, well, I think that's it. I mean, this presentation started, and the fact that they really were leaning into it being the 40th anniversary, I think, we're all kind of watching thinking like, oh, well, the end of this segment might be a tease for the next 3D Mario game. Like when that trailer reveal sort of started for the movie, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Even if it was just an announcement, like, coming holiday 2026, that would have been something. People would have obviously, been really excited about it.
I think they feel like they, that announcing Metroid Prime 4 like so far out and how much that's kind of plagued them. I think they kind of feel like they don't really want to drop anything until it's like, maximum of 6 months out, until it's like basically ready to go. Like even Tears of the Kingdom, they had to delay a couple of times. So I think they're just a little gun shy in that regard. And like clearly the next thing that they do with Mario will be like so massive that again, like we don't know what stage and what along that would be and what team would be working on it, given that Bonanza just came out and that's the same team. Anyway. But yeah, cool that the theme of the movie is Galaxy. I think there's kind of interesting, potentially a lot more in that than just the straight up, like the storyline that we got of the first film. I think there could potentially be some more interesting story stuff, and definitely visually. I mean that first movie, plot wise, paper thin, but I mean, it looked amazing. The animation was great. The style of it was so fun. And even just in this little trailer, there's a little Monty Mole kind of digging around. It just kind of really reminded me, like, yeah, this really does look great. But, you know, like we've got Miyamoto there talking to us, and then we're cutting to the what's his name from Illumination. It's I don't want to see this guy.
I did not invite him to my 40th birthday party.
Yeah, I do not care about what he has to say in this Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, this fucking Despicable Me looking motherfucker.
I mean, so part of it was that they're talking about some special stuff that's going on at the Nintendo Museum in Kyoto, and that they're going to be sponsoring the Kyoto Marathon in 2026. And they've got like a lot of concept art. There's like a little art gallery that's now opened up semi-recently at the museum, and they showed some shots of that. And even that, it's like, I wish they would bring out a book of all that stuff. Like, that would be a great something to kind of commemorate the 40th anniversary. Like, I wish it was easier to obtain all that stuff, because just even seeing those little, I've never seen any of that stuff before. Those little grabs they had of like concept art from like Mario Brothers 3 and going all the way back to then. Like, I would love to see more of that, or like even just a digital thing that used it in some way. But yes, those are both coming out, the Galaxy games. We also got to look at Mario Tennis Fever, which is out February next year. This looked fine. It looks like kind of interesting, a little more dialed back in the gimmick that they usually have for these games, which I think is the right move, kind of focusing more on the arcadey action of it all rather than they kind of tend to have these things in that like really disrupt the flow of play, like when you had the like ace shots thing where it would like switch to almost like a first person view where you would be able to aim exactly where the ball would go in the last one, and it just means that it feels so like stop start.
Well, I booted it up. Bridget and I played a bit of it. What was that one called? It was called Aces, Mario Tennis Aces. The Switch one. And you can play. You can, when you're just doing free play, you can turn off the special moves. But when you leave them on, it basically leads to you building up your gauge until kind of both of you have it. Because if one person uses it, then you just use yours to block it, and that's it. Like, it just cancels them out. So you just get like 30 seconds of watching animations, which, is not fun. I don't mind just the games in general, though. Like, I do love having an arcade tennis game where you can do like the big dodge moves to like recover a ball that's too far away. And it is fun. Like, it's fun. The gameplay of it is fun in terms of the actual tennis.
It's such a good formula for a like non-realistic sports sim.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I played the soccer version, Strikers. I played the GameCube one when it was released online a few weeks ago, and it's fucking fun. Like, they are really, really fun games. And I guess, I don't know, you don't want them to just remaster last generation's one every, next generation, and because there can be some innovation in them, but I don't know. Even visually, this doesn't look hugely improved from Aces.
Yeah, I think they're keeping a bit of it under, like, even just what they showed of this was just on a straight up grass court. They didn't. They showed some of the other modes where it's mixing it up a little bit. But when they announced Aces, I thought it was really cool that it's like, oh, he's got a little tennis outfit, which they'd never done before. It was always just in his standard like overalls. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. And so even like returning to that aesthetic for this makes sense, but it does kind of make it just seem like a continuation on. But so the gimmick of this one is that there's, I think they said like 38 characters and then 30 rackets or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And each racket has a different ability. You build up a gauge, and then it's a thing like you've got an ice racket that'll make their side of the court all slippery. Or what are the other ones? Like a thing where you split into two different halves. One where you shrink your opponent. So it does seem a little more like kind of Mario Kart-y, little items, things happening on the fly that are very chaotic and arcadey, but aren't going to involve these big like Super Smash animations that just kind of like halt the flow of gameplay. Like I think this could be this could be the one. This could be the like what you want from an arcadey. You want it to have some like crazy silly Mario shit going on, but kind of finding that balance of like all these little items and stuff where all the effects you're having are just kind of like happening, you know, still in the flow of the game. Still, you're still having to run around and play tennis, but there's this obstacle on the course now. That's kind of always what I've wanted them to do more and more, is just lock into like, because Mario Kart, they add little things here and there, but they've never gone like, now there's a thing where if you build up a meter, you push the R button and the entire race freezes and your car turns into a monster truck. Yeah. Like they've gone racing with items that fucks other people up, and we'll do little iterations on that. We'll add items, we'll tweak things here and there. Yeah. But they've never, the Mario Tennis games, it's like every new one has to be its whole new set of whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I tend to agree with that. And then there's also an adventure mode in there, which they had done with the previous one, where it was more like just an overworld, and you'd go from sort of a gimmick match to gimmick match. This one, it's more like the last golf one, where you're kind of walking around these little levels. I don't know if you have to play as Baby Mario. Like that is the character who was, you know, the player character in the whole.
It's very strange. It's like you're on. They all go to an island and get turned into babies, and you've lost all your skills. And it does seem, as you say, like more of kind of like an RPG sort of thing. Because meanwhile, there's like a whole separate mode that is just those gimmick matches, which is cool. Which is the stuff that they do in these games that I always really like. For the single player stuff, just doing a tournament kind of gets a bit old eventually, like having a kind of a checklist of all these weird little random challenges to tick off is always very fun. So I'm interested. I'm interested in this one.
Yeah, I'll definitely get it. I'll definitely get it. I just have a ball with these games.
And especially online too, with the voice chat. Seems like it'd be really fun. Then we saw a bit of Super Mario Brothers Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition. It's getting an upgrade DLC pack, which is coming in spring next year. And what they focused on in this was weird. The main things they were showing off were all these like multiplayer versus and co-op little challenge level things that were almost like kind of little Mario Party mini games almost. But they did say at the end that there'll be other levels and extra stuff in there as well that is more like of just more of the single player game, which they're going to show more of at a later date. But it does kind of seem really weird to focus on the multiplayer stuff, which feels like the like that feels like the afterthought rather than the other way around. Seemed like a straight, because I saw this come up and I loved that game. I was like, oh fuck yeah, more of this, some more levels. That's so good. And then just it being all this stuff that I'm like, I'm not interested in playing this. I'm not interested in playing these versus levels.
It's odd because it's basically like kind of a combination between Mario Party and WarioWare, like these short, fast levels with these gimmicks that you have to play tag, or you have to, have the most lives left at the end. Which, it's like you just released was it a new Mario Party or a upgraded Mario?
Switch 2 edition of the previous, Switch 1.
Which it's almost like, well, I'll just buy I'll just buy this for the Switch 2, and I can have my little multiplayer sessions. But
I mean, it is neat in these 2D ones now where you have the option of playing with 4 people, but it's not. I wouldn't say. I mean, if you've got little kids, it's great as a way to like involve them, because you can sort of be like taking the reins of the gameplay and they can kind of tag along. I definitely get the appeal of it, but I don't know that anyone who's like played that game and loved it would say that aspect of it was their favorite part, really.
Sure. Yeah.
But cool to see that there is more in there, and they sort of teased like the Koopa kids being in there. Yeah. There's a little screenshot of one of the levels that sort of shows the little icon of it, and you can see that Rosalina is in there, which people are like, oh, cool, maybe they're going to add like a bunch more playable characters into there. Right. So, keen to see more of, what that will entail, because that's a super fun game. They're also making a physical version of the talking flower that's in that game that you can set up in your house, and I don't know, push a little button and he talks at you, which is a very weird thing to make. I really do feel like we're going to find out that there's like somewhere in the physical department that's just, it's like one person that's just really been allowed to cook. Like they've got the like Alamo. They also announced as part of the Galaxy stuff that there's going to be 2 new amiibo of Mario and Rosalina, and they look cool. They look Mario in the little star thing that teleports you around, and a physical version of the like storybook that's in that game, which again seems like a weird one, but it does seem like there is like one person in particular at the helm of the physical department, because that's the other thing is like there's so many amiibo announced in this direct. They're kind of back in a big way, so also
they gotta sell merch. They gotta sell that merch.
What was the last thing? Oh, the last thing in the Mario segment was Yoshi and the Mysterious Book.
Yes.
Which is a new 2D Yoshi game. It's got I didn't really like it at first, but I rewatched the trailer and it grew on me a little bit. I think I really wish they would just make like a real follow-on to the Yoshi's Island game on the SNES, like a game that really looks like that, colored pencil, and what you could really do with that in high def I think would be really cool. But this is a book appears in the Yoshi's world, and you can get transported into it and go into these pages where there's little creatures that you have to find and use them to complete the level, and find little fill out the book with little facts about them. It kind of seems like in the Pokemon Legends game, how you've got that cool mechanic, how you have like the bit of it that I really loved, which was the you have like a list of all of your Pokemon, and then you've got like 10 or 20 little things that you've got to check off, like catch one that's this size, or get 10 of them, or watch it do this attack, or do this attack to it, or whatever. Kind of seems a bit like that, but in a 2D platform where you've got to find like your little flower man, and then you've got to get him to bloom this and defeat this enemy with him. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't notice any enemies in this trailer, to be fair. It looked more, like a little bit more of a puzzle platformer, but for kids, like super chill, not particularly complex. But it's I do wish that, like you say, they return to that original style, and also the kind of like the gameplay of it, like it being not a super, because all of the last 5 or 6 have been very easy, very much like aimed at young children, like easier than Kirby even.
I think they decided at a certain point, like they've got their scale of like difficulty that all of their franchises slot into, and they never really change it up, which makes sense. I mean, Yoshi is so appealing to kids. And that last one, if you've never checked it out, I would recommend it. I went through all of it in COVID, and maybe it just speaks to the time period, but it was a really nice one to just go and like collect everything, explore all the stuff, like the levels, because they always do these like yarn or cardboard or whatever, and it looks cool. But this kind of Yoshi looks kind of like stop motiony, and it's like very much like a picture book aesthetic. Looks like there's some neat stuff in there. I hate the title of Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I hate the title of Mario Tennis Fever. I was thinking while I was watching this, so many of these announcements looked like the kinds of things that are on those like fake leaks that you see, where it'll be like, this and this and this, and you just go like, that's not what Yoshi and the Mysterious Book isn't a title that they would actually give a game. Mario Tennis Fever isn't what they would call an actual game. Oh yeah, Virtual Boy games are coming to the Switch Online. That's not something they'd ever do. Like I just halfway through this, I was like, this really does look like completely made up. And so yes, that was one of the other big announcements. Nintendo Classics is getting the Virtual Boy library of games. Nintendo's one console system that they try and pretend never happened.
Yeah.
Dismal failure when it came out. I don't think there's even any representation of it at the museum. Like, they straight up are just like,
Right.
this didn't happen. But they're dropping all these games onto the Switch Online, and you are going to be able to get that 3D effect by buying a plastic Virtual Boy replica that the Switch in handheld mode kind of locks into, so that you can get that 3D display. This is fucking stupid, but I love it. I love that it exists. It's so dumb. It's so unbelievably dumb.
Yeah, I think this one's for us. Honestly, we'll get this accessory. We probably won't use it. Yeah. I mean,
this is the dumb thing, is that they go 14 titles are coming to it, and it's like, that's the entire library. Like, 14 games came out for this thing, and I reckon like one of them is great, and there's a couple of okay ones. The Wario Land that's on there is like one of the best Wario Lands that they've made. It's really good. I played a bit of it. I like modded my 3DS to
that's right,
be able to play it on an emulator, which is crazy that on the 3DS you could just do the 3D effect on it. That they never put Virtual Boy stuff on there when it was already like built into the console. It's so weird.
And it didn't hurt your eyes to look at.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just remastered that Wario Land and charged full price for it, but
right.
But yeah, look, I'll get this. And even the full, like, the plastic kind of one that actually mimics the look of the Virtual Boy is cool and neat. But then there's also like a cardboard version of it that's cheaper, that's like a budget option, which is like, it's so funny when they sort of are like, you know, they don't back down from the price of Mario Kart World and for, you know, charging full price for, you know, slight remasters of 20-year-old games. But then with something like this, they will go, yeah, look, maybe it is a bit much to charge this much for a plastic peripheral to play 14 games, 13 of which kind of sucks. So look, we get it. Here's a cardboard alternative.
Yeah, I wonder if there's reports on how much it'll cost in Australia. Here's the Aussie price.
I think it's 120 for the like
140 for
140.
Yeah, the unit, the stand, the attachment bracket, the eye shade, the lens cover, and then if you got online, all the games. Yeah,
and then the cardboard thing is like 30 or something, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is, it's bizarre, but again, like I'm into it. You know, for better or worse, I love it when they do shit where you're just like, why this? I mean, I guess the reality is it's like fairly easy for them to just chuck them all up on there.
Yeah.
It gives people a reason to potentially stick with their Switch Online subscription. And I mean, I don't know, like it was a flop for them, but it is a fascinating failure. It's a really interesting piece of tech, and I do like that with this classics thing, they're just going, get everything on there, get the entire, you know, you can get this online subscription and have a Switch, and you just basically have this like, you have this museum, you have this catalog of everything they've ever done, especially if you're like in your early or mid-20s now and you're just getting into all this stuff, like the ease of access of all this, like thinking about in the last couple of years, the amounts of things that I've bought or like, you know, modded old consoles to be able to like play this stuff that was sort of like inaccessible and seemed like, well, it just seems like they're never going to end up putting Game Boy games on the Switch Online. And then they do. It is, I mean, it's frustrating for me personally, having dropped the money on being able to play these things, but like buying an analog pocket and things like that. But it is cool that you can now just like get a Switch out of the box and you've got not only the new Switch games, but you've got like, almost the entire history of the console there ready to go. It's cool. And
certainly the older ones specifically, like all the 2D platformers from the NES and the SNES are so well designed. They completely hold up and are really comparable to a lot of the like contemporary indie stuff that's getting released now. And I feel like, you know, younger people have been primed for that kind of game, and there's just so many available on Nintendo Online. And then the GameCube games are like they're not old enough either that they fall into this, like I said, Mario Strikers is a really fun game, and you can just play it in that version. Like, you don't need a remaster. It's just and it's just there free if you're subscribed.
Yeah, I've been playing Wind Waker and Chibi Robo on the GameCube, and I feel like they don't really need. You got to remap the camera controls, like, right, because they're inverted from what we're used to now. But that's pretty easy. They've built that feature into it now, and once you do that, it feels like maybe this is just the rose-colored glasses of having been there originally. But I feel like you don't really have to give it too many concessions. 64, I think you would really struggle with. Now and like weren't there at the time, but I think I read somewhere that there's I think like there's only like 2 or something of the mainline Mario games that aren't available on the Switch in some capacity. Right. I think the 2 3DS ones, like Mario 3D Land and New Super Mario. Oh yeah, the New Super Mario Brothers games. But you've got the bulk of the library, which is cool. So we also got a look at. We got a release date for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Yes. And we saw a bit more of that. And I don't know what's going on with this game. Like, so like weirdly, just this trailer kind of dropped as if it was just like any other random game and not something that people have been waiting 8 years for. I've seen a lot of stuff online about how dank this. So the trailer opens on Samus kind of getting onto this big bike and sort of like locking into it with her hand cannon, which seems completely unnecessary, but still fucking cool. Yeah. To the point where this seems so like out of step with what you expect from Metroid Prime that I kind of thought, don't tell me this is another new Metroid game that's going to come out before Metroid Prime 4. And the start of the trailer was, Samus kind of driving this bike around this large and quite barren-looking desert area, which a lot of people online have been like, that looks pretty sparse and a little shitty. Yeah, there's like a little bit of like driving down like a suspended road and like maybe a bit more platforming to it than what we see in that, the bulk of it. But, and then also, it just goes into the classic first person gameplay. A lot of, it looks cool visually. Enemies look sweet. Like, I thought that the desert area did look kind of barren and not great, but also it is a desert. There's only so much kind of visually you can do with that. I wouldn't be surprised if it does seem like a weird thing to like lead with in the trailer. But I love the concept of having that bike. And then once they, as you say, once they showed it going along that suspension bridge, I was like, oh hell yeah, this looks fucking rad. Yeah, so December 4, we finally got a date for it. I don't know. I do think that it they did say that everything that you're seeing in that trailer was from the Switch 2 edition. Right. But I do feel like just the fact of having to be able to get it to run on both has probably hamstrung it a little bit. So, when they show off that desert section and it looks a bit barren and not very shiny, which people want their Switch 2 games to look like, it's like, I get it. Like, they've got to have that segment be able to run on the Switch 1 and it'll probably run at about 20 frames per second. But, I think like you'd get something a little nicer if they had just made the decision at some point to just pivot it entirely. But cool to finally have a release date. And the demo I played of it was fun at the start of the year. And you would hope that if they made the decision to restart it, the development, that means that it's going to have come along and be good. But I think people seem to be really like, what's this game going to end up being like? Yeah, and it is odd, like you said, like this is their early December release. Like this is their holiday game, and just dropped a pretty normal looking minute and 50-second trailer. I reckon we'll get a dedicated direct for this in the next couple of months. This just really felt like, shut up, here's the date. Sure. Are you fucking happy now? Yeah. You can pre-order it on EB Games now. Yeah. Oh, and this gets a suite of 3 amiibo as well. A sort of standard Samus kind of bracing with the hand cannon, arm cannon. A little guy who I guess is like the main villain in it, and Samus on the motorbike, which looked fucking rad.
Yeah, that does look cool.
I will be buying that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll put it next to my Kaneda from Akira on his motorbike.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does do a bit of an Akira slide in there, which was cool.
Yeah.
We also got a look at, this had been kind of rumored or leaked or whatever you want to say, a Pokemon spin-off, which I kind of loved the setup of this, a little Ditto walking into a cave and sort of disguising itself as a human child that looks kind of really creepy and weird. And this is called Pokemon Pokopia. And this is sort of a Dragon Quest Builders, Stardew Valley, Minecrafty kind of thing where you're going around, you're befriending other Pokemon and getting them to do little chores for you and building up this little town and little village.
Yeah.
And I know we all have fatigue of this kind of game, but this looks fucking rad. I kind of am more interested in playing Pokemon spin-off stuff than like mainline Pokemon at this stage, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. And I agree. I think this looks cool. Like, even like playing the sort of Animal Crossing minigame of Yakuza Infinite Wealth, like,
right.
or sorry, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Like, those games are super, super fun when they're done by like a big first party kind of developer. Like, yeah, you're right. We have seen so many like farming sim third party eShop games over the past 5 years.
Yeah. I feel like kind of like with with the mainline games, the formula is kind of quite samey, at least in the early hours. Like you catch one of these things, they've all got relatively the same attacks. I know this is a very like probably like quite broad and unfair sort of assessment of them, but for me personally, there's so much more about that world that is like interesting to explore in these spin-off games like Pokemon Snap, where you're in a little car and you like are driving through their habitat and sort of seeing them kind of in the wild do all these different things and how they all interact with each other. And something like this where you know, these ones that we all remember from the cartoons when we were growing up and the first gen of games, like getting them to go off and I don't know, find sticks for you or whatever. Like, it just kind of feels like a more fun way of interacting with them than just like, you catch 20 of these new ones that you've never heard of before and they sort of look like the old ones and their attacks are bite, growl, tackle. Like it doesn't really feel like you get like the nuance of how all these little species are different from one another. Yeah. So, I'm all for these ones that kind of, that sort of, make it feel like a more living, breathing world. And the fact that it's not just, you're a little guy and you know, you're training him like, you're a Ditto that's disguised itself as a human for some reason. And your little avatar looks kind of horrifying.
Looks like something from Little Nightmares.
It looks like a little fucked up raggy doll.
Yeah. But no, I totally agree. I think like the stuff that watching the original cartoon really inspired was like the imagination of like, well, what if I was in this world? It wasn't like, what if I was Ash and I went through the fucking tournament? It was like, oh yeah, what if you could have like a Pokemon that could like a Charmander could cook your lunch, you know, like shit like that. Just like the innovation of that whole franchise and the whole concept was like, the imagination of it. But I think this looks great.
Yeah, I'm pumped. And then we got to look at some DLC for Pokemon Legends ZA, which is out in October. They showed off a bit of the DLC called Mega Dimension, which, I was sort of zoned out for this. I'm still, I don't know. I've said this so many times, but I loved the first Legends. I loved the setting of it. I loved, again, like how much of like a different take on this world it was. This one just kind of looks so similar to a lot of other stuff. It's just being in a city and being, I assume, kind of present day sort of makes it a bit less interesting to me. I'm still, I'll still play it, but I'm not really, when the game's not even out, just being like, oh yeah, and there's going to be DLC for it. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I think that my view on this one is that it looks like a more interesting version of a mainline one. Like,
yeah.
Like, if I'm going to play a Pokemon game where, you play tournaments and you're in a city and you're meeting people and they're telling you to do quests, like, make it open world and lean into that and sort of the semi-realistic way of catching Pokemon and fighting and all that stuff. Like, I agree. I loved the setting of the previous Legends, but I think for me this is like, well, I'd rather play this than whatever the new normal Pokemon is going to be. Yeah.
We also got a bit more of a look at the Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which I am excited for. I loved Age of Calamity. By the way, I should shout out, I forget this person's name, but after the last time we talked about this game and I talked about how cool it was that Calamity is this kind of like in-between story of, Breath of the Wild. They corrected me that it's actually an alternate timeline, and they were very apologetic about having to message a correction and be that guy.
Yeah,
but I totally get it. Like, everyone has some version of that in their own lives where you listen to something and you feel like you're in a conversation and the person just gets something like absolutely wrong and they speak on it with such confidence and it drives you completely insane. That happens to me listening to pods all the time, like getting a date wrong or a name of a band wrong or something. It drives you nuts. And it's hard to be that guy, but I respect that person for messaging me to let me know and put me in my place. But this Age of Imprisonment, it is that, but for the Tears of the Kingdom sort of world. So you've got the Zonai devices, you've got a lot of those, those new characters that we saw in flashbacks and stuff in that game. I loved the last one. I'm pumped for this. This is a bit of a disappointment with the Direct in that I was kind of hoping and assuming that there would be a few more, like, not even just switch to like additions or DLC, but just like, patches announced, like upgrades. Because I think that first one could really do with a bit of a bump up for the Switch 2 hardware. So that was a bit of a shame. But this looks great, and I'm pumped. And it's out on November the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never really got into the Warriors games. The only one I liked was Persona 5.
Yep. There were a few announced in this too, but
yeah.
We also got a bit more of a look at Tomodachi Life, which is like a little, I don't know what it is. I know that there's people who really love the series as its fans. But it's like a little island where you make a Mii and they fuck around and do stuff. And
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like a weird little Sims kind of thing, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah,
But,
some weird little like open world mini games and character quests and things like that. It kind of looks like.
Yeah, it could be fun. Who knows? This could be maybe if some global disaster happens when it comes out. This could be this could be the Animal Crossing moment for the Tomodachi Life series, where all the sickos are like, finally everyone's into it. Because I mean, if everyone you know is interacting with it and you can go online and fuck around with other people and stuff, it could be really fun. But I just I'm excited for it just because of the like fan base that it has, but I don't really know enough about it to be personally that pumped up.
Yeah. Let's see. It's coming out autumn our time next year. So March, April, May. We'll see how it goes. See if there's any buzz. We might dip in and make our Miis and have a little fuck around.
We also got, and this was a big surprise for a few reasons, some Donkey Kong Bananza DLC that they dropped immediately. Yeah. Which was really cool, and I wish this kind of stuff sort of happened more because, what a neat surprise. So that was kind of my one little, not letdown, but I was a little disappointed at the end of Bonanza, where in Odyssey, the kind of the last thing that you would unlock was you went back to the Mushroom Kingdom and you could run around Peach's castle, and it was, such a neat little throwback. I kind of really assumed that they would do the same thing with Donkey Kong Island in Bonanza, and they didn't, and I was like, oh, that's a shame. But thankfully, my prayers were answered, and they've granted me the privilege of paying $30 to do it.
But so yeah, this is a whole new area with like levels and enemies and like basically classic DLC, right? This aspect of it.
So yeah, so I've played a fair bit of it actually. So I'll talk a bit more in depth about it. So yeah, it's Donkey Kong's home island. It's got the big head of him carved into the rock. It's got his little house. Diddy and Dixie and Cranky are all there hanging out, and there's a floating island shaped like the Donkey Kong bongos from the GameCube, and all these little neat Easter eggs. There's a couple of the little challenge levels sort of hidden in there, but the main thing that this DLC is basically a roguelite called Emerald Rush, where Void Kong he's sort of hanging out on Donkey Kong Island. He's been banished or whatever. And he recruits you to work for him, and it replaces all of the gold in the level with emerald. And you go through. There's like 7 different difficulty levels, and you go through these little stages that are like timed sort of incrementally. So you get I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's like a minute and a half or 2 minutes per little stage, and you have a quota of emerald that you have to get for him, and if you hit that quota, you move on to the next bit. If you don't, you're out. And within that, you also you've lost all of your abilities, like all your skill tree stuff that you've built up over the game, and so like bananas and fossils that are dotted around the level give you like perks, things like, you know, you get more of the emerald every time you hit an enemy with a chunk that you've pulled out of the ground. Or, you know, certain things appear more frequently when you smash into the terrain. And then Void is also kind of radioing you and setting these little challenges where it'll be like, hey, there's 3 of this enemy over here, and you got to go beat them. And you'll look on the map and see where they are. You can make your own way there. Or you can like warp nearby. You have like 3 little warp barrels that you can use to go anywhere that reset at each little quota that you hit. So you kind of got to be like sparing with them. And so yeah, you're building up these perks. You might get to a point where like you build up to like level 8 or whatever of like, you know, you get now like 800% more emerald if you beat an enemy as a Kong transformation. Or you get 800% more if you defeat an enemy throwing a chunk at them. So then you go, okay, well, I've really focused in on them, so now every time these enemies come up, I'm going to transform into Kong and smash them with a, you know, bit of the ground, and I'm going to get so much emerald as a result. So you start off just doing that mode on DK Island, and then you also unlock the ability to do it on the other levels that are in the game. I think about half of them, maybe. Right. And it's sick. It's really, really fun. It's a really cool way of like taking all of the stuff that is in the base game, all of the abilities and the levels and the concept, and just completely reframing it. I'm having such a good time with it. You get scored at the end of your run, and through your score you unlock new costumes. You unlock new little perks that get added into the runs. You unlock the like different layers that you can play the Emerald Rush mode on. It's cool. It's such a fun way of like repurposing the game after you've finished it and done everything, using the like abilities that you've built up. It's got banging music that plays through it. It's great.
Fuck yeah.
And the fact that this wasn't like and it's coming out in March. Like we just got it straight away was really cool. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that whole like we said, that the Mario Odyssey team they've been fucking working away in the background for years now, and it makes sense. This was like, this is ready to go. We've spent like 6 years on this.
It must have been. I wonder if it was something like the plan was always to have you turn up in DK Island at the end of it, and then they went, let's hold this off and pack it in with this mode and make it an extra paid thing, because it's so soon after release too. That's the thing. It's like so rare that you'd get something like this so soon afterwards. Often it's like a year later and you're like, this seems cool, and you go in and you're like, I've sort of like, I'm still kind of playing that game fairly regularly, so it's neat to have it be like, just feels like an extra thing that I unlocked. And
just keep it rolling, keep those fun vibes rolling. You've forgotten how to play. It's all, still muscle memory. It's cool.
Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade got a release date. It's out Jan 22nd next year on the Switch 2. People have been playing that at Gamescom. They said it's running pretty good.
Yeah, nice.
So that's interesting. It's also got apparently like a new kind of progression mode in it where you can just like you can just like bump up your health and all of your stats like immediately.
Oh, right.
Like I think if you just want to, maybe they assume that perhaps you've already played it through once on the PlayStation and you want to like just have it on Switch but make certain bits of it just kind of easier to progress through because you want to see all the story. Like
that makes sense.
Seems like an interesting idea, because often
they do it with all of those older ones as well. Like they put in like you can speed up the battle speed, and you can like there are those like quality of life things in even like the original Final Fantasy VII being
and I mean especially if you're double dipping, like sometimes you do want to you want to be able to play it handheld or on a different console or whatever, but you don't want to be beating your head against the wall at all the same hits over and over again. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. There was like a big leak before this that there were going to be 3 games featured in here that featured the number 7, and people were guessing all sorts of various different things and sort of jumping at shadows. I mean, Final Fantasy VII seemed like a lock, but this being one of them, I don't think anyone predicted that. This originally came out on the PlayStation in 2000, and it is coming out Feb 5 next year. It looks cool.
Yeah. We like Dragon Quest on this podcast.
Yep.
So that'll be sweet. They've also
we love the work of Toriyama, seeing his designs kind of updated and kind of fleshed out and a little more elegant looking. Looking forward to checking this out.
Then we got a few things that either were already announced or are just like Switch and Switch 2 dates. We got Hades 2 release date on the Switch and Switch 2 September 25. A Switch 2 version of Dynasty Warriors Origins, which I guess had this had been in like Microsoft or PlayStation presentations before, or was it just? I think
so, yeah. Or is this out on other stuff?
Maybe it's
maybe
it's already out. Yeah. So the Switch version's coming out in Jan, which is cool.
Yep.
And then a whole bunch of other stuff. We got Resident Evil 9's coming out.
Yes, Resident Evil Requiem. I think that was the big one. That was kind of right at the end, which is out on, I believe, the same day as as all the other versions.
Yes,
and it's not going to be the best way to play it if you've got access to a PS5, but it does look like it's running pretty well on there.
I mean, again, this could be one for if you've never played this franchise and you've heard about them, you maybe only have had Nintendo consoles. You're getting 7, 8, and 9, which are all fucking awesome games.
7 and 8 being on there is cool, and and they're all dropping on the same day, which is which is funny.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of this was very interesting to me. Squeaker Game Planet, a sequel to Watermelon Game. Instead of it just being like dropping from the top, this time you're sort of. It's like a little planet, a little orb that you're circling around, and you're able to drop anywhere from there. You're able to play co-op. You can do like the game share thing, where you only need one copy of the game and you can kind of beam it to another console. Looks cool. Love Watermelon Game. Pumped for more Watermelon Game. And then our one more thing at the end, we got a look at Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave.
I've loved the past 2 of these, I guess. The ones that were both on Switch Three Houses, and the other one, which I forget what it's called. Engage, which had the kind of funky character designs with all the kind of bold colours. And I've loved both of those games, put so many hours into them, and I'm just going to play this regardless of how it looks. I don't care what people think. I love Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I thought this looked great. A really interesting setup. There's a little kind of tease at the end where you see one of the characters from Three Houses, and it's not quite clear how they connect and link up. One other thing in the Direct, they showed off some Kirby Air Riders amiibo that come on little machines, and you can kind of swap them over. And they mentioned that there's going to be another in-depth Direct coming soon with Sakurai.
Yes.
I'm interested to see what they've held off on showing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the Direct. Overall, pretty good. I mean,
absolutely.
A few more like surprise announcements of stuff. A lot of it was just dates of things that we already knew existed, but when you look at the next kind of 3-4 months, it's pretty stacked. I mean, obviously,
pretty stacked.
Depends what of the franchises you're specifically into, but yeah, I'm pumped for Hyrule Warriors. I'm pumped for Metroid. Being able to play Galaxy 2 again will be cool.
Yep.
Some good stuff coming out, and seems like we'll get Fire Emblem before too long, and that was it.
I think fills the gap. There was a bit of, we were looking forward and being like, well, is it just Metroid Prime 4 this year? Is there going to be a 3D Mario? I think, taking aside maybe the disappointment of that not being the holiday game of the year, there's some really cool stuff. I think tennis looks great. And like you said, the stuff that's coming online. And then, a bunch of third-party stuff that looks cool.
I think I completely agree. I think most people sort of assumed that a new 3D Mario announcement was on lock. I kind of love that they've been doing making a 3D Donkey Kong game, making a weird open world Mario Kart. Like, I like that they're in a bit of a freaky era. I was kind of hoping for some sort of total left field announcement, which it didn't have, but as I say, looking at what they kind of already had on the slate and that they just have to provide release dates for and get this next 4 or 5 months worth of games out, it's like, why would they start teasing too many things for the end of next year? Like, they've got a pretty full calendar for the next few months, realistically.
Well, my calendar's been full, playing a lot more of the game we talked about last week, Hollow Knight Silksong. I think we both kind of had a very similar experience of playing a bit of it, playing a couple hours, a few hours, and being like, it's good, it's pretty hard, and I haven't really been hooked in by, in the way that we have been by other massive, hyped, and really fun games, but there's been a bunch this year that we've been like, okay, well, I've just got to I'm going to pound this out till it's done. Bonanza being one of them.
Yeah, well, it also had only come out a couple of days before we recorded, which was usually we'd have spent a full week. But we've gone a lot more in almost immediately after recording last week's. I unlocked the dash and I unlocked the float, and it just makes it feel like a completely different game. Oh, and also, so I talked about being up at this early mini boss and really getting spanked by it, and then after I left your house I was having lunch and an article came up that was about tons of Silksong players are getting sort of getting up to this mini boss too early, and I read this article and it was basically look, you can do it, but if you don't have the dash yet, it's gonna it's really, really, really fucking hard. You kind of are meant to have gone off and gotten all these other abilities first. And so I went, okay, that's good to know that I'm not just too shit at this game. So I kind of
say I did that I went off and got the dash and the float, and I went back to it, and it's still too hard.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I got him done pretty quickly. I think because I'd spent I was like getting pretty good. Like I was
Right.
getting pretty close to getting him done initially, so I kind of had all of that like muscle and pattern memory already.
Right.
But now I just had like one tool that just makes it like he's got this one attack in particular that you just basically cannot dodge if you don't have the dash.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, well, that was the one thing that was just fucking me up every time that now I can just immediately get out of the way of.
Right. Because
but in doing that,
that happens with almost every boss, where you get beaten maybe 9 or 10 times.
Yeah.
And then by the 11th, you're like, I didn't even like I barely got damaged because I memorized the patterns so well that I just was like, yep, jump there, dodge there, attack,
or it's
jump there.
like for me, I find there's like you memorize the patterns, but then there'll be like one sort of escalation of one of the attacks that's kind of like a late phase thing.
Yeah.
This is where I really get done because when this comes up, I just cannot dodge. I'm so bad at dodging this.
Yeah.
And then you start to go like, I'm clearly getting closer. And I psych myself out. I'm like, I'm at this bit again that always unravels me. So yeah, I kind of like that night I just went, all right, I'm just going to poke around until I find the dodge and started filling out the map and did bought more of the maps, bought the compass, which shows you where you are on the map.
Yes.
And then the other upgrade to it, which shows you the rooms that the bits that you've been in and not been in, and just even having that like ease of navigation, and then eventually getting those two abilities, like the dash and the float. It within the space of an hour started to feel like literally like I was playing a different game.
Totally. And yeah, it's funny because I'd even seen, before I got a lot of those extra things, people being like, there's no map, like there's no, and it's like, well, there is. There is. You just have to buy them and you can get that currency.
And then you get it and you're like, where the fuck am I on this map? And it's like, oh, you have to pay for the thing to see where you are, which is like, again, I like, it's cool. You can, if you want to be hardcore about it, you can choose to just not do it in that way. And it does sort of subtly try and tell you like, hey, you know what might be really fun is if you just turn your fucking brain on and try and like piece this together yourself and use some memory and, really immerse yourself, like really get in it. Because in this game, you are a character that has fallen into this pit and you don't know where you are or anything about where you are. It's like, it's immersive.
You could draw the paper maps if you wanted to. Like, there is that level of like, the challenge is like obviously the combat is still very difficult and very punishing, and I find a lot of the walkbacks getting back to a boss. Like sometimes you can have found a bench that's closer, or if you go past it, there's another. There are ways that you can maybe kind of mitigate that, but there is still
you have to pay for some of the benches too, which is like annoying when you've like seen it and not done it, and then the amount of the currency that you like amass on your run back isn't enough to get it, and you're like, God damn it! Why didn't I get it when I had the chance?
But I mean, I think we're both having so much more fun with this. Even just 7 days later, it's really expanded what the game actually is and the level of options you have. The platforming is really, really fun. Like I'm loving it. That when you get the float ability and then you start to get into those areas where there's so much verticality, you're basically dodging enemies rather than taking them on. Like, there's so much strategy to actually navigating this world. And like, I think I've got like 4 maps and I've maybe been to like 5 or 6 areas. And it doesn't feel like I got really frustrated playing like an Animal Well because it was like, I've fucking been everywhere that I can go. What am I missing? Whereas this, it's a bit more like an Elden Ring or something like that, or the later Dark Souls where it's like, no, you just try a different way. Just go somewhere else.
There's always somewhere else to go. And also, I mean, that was kind of like my fault where I felt like I was really beating my head against the wall with that mini boss and feeling like I had to do it at that point.
Right.
But yeah, what I should have done is just go, I'm just going to go look around. And like, I had a couple of points like that where I felt like I hit the edge of the map, or this bit was just starting to annoy me. So I'm like, I'm just going to go literally off in the different direction and got up to this. Yeah. I really like the rooms that you get into where it's like not a boss, but it's like the wave of enemies, and they're like quite challenging in their own right, but you feel a little bit more... They feel a little bit more manageable. Like you feel like you can track your progress a little more incrementally. There's a boss that was like really tough that then I realized there's a way of a little side quest thing that you do that means that you completely bypass him, which is really cool. Yeah, a lot of the side quest stuff has been like pretty fun, and actually the little characters that are involved in it are really neat. And that's it too, like just kind of getting a bit deeper into the world and seeing like more of the lore and story and different areas and different characters, and it just feels a lot more alive than those early bits where I felt like, I think I get it, but it just really sinking right into it, and the music and the animations and the style, like it just, it's really something. It's really something.
That thing where you unlock a shortcut back and you're like, oh fuck yeah, I am mastering level, and like there's a thing which comes up as a quest, but it's like, it is like that kind of Pokedex Pokemon Legends thing where you're tracking enemies you've beaten, and it's like, oh, you got to beat 17 more of these, and that's really fun. Yeah, it's so much more than what I thought it was playing the first couple of hours. There's just a lot more to it. There's a lot more things that can sort of motivate you to continue exploring than just like, well, I got to get to the top somehow. Like there's
and
it's
like
great.
There's a thing that I saw online, people kind of getting mad about, which is like you have a bit in the map where you can like fall, and you fall for ages, and you basically end up like right back at where you started. Yes. People being like, what? And it's like, they put this in there just to troll you, and it's like, no, man, doesn't take long. Like it's not like your house fucking got destroyed in a storm. You know, you just walk through this beautifully made world for a few minutes and you end up back where you were. It's fine.
Yeah, and you learn a little bit better how to play the game. You get a bit better at combat, you get a bit better at exploration, and you
maybe go in a different direction and you find other little stuff in there, and
sick game.
C+.
We're still so early as well in it. Like apparently it is really, really big. It's a big map, lots of secrets, lots of mini bosses. We're really just scratching the surface, but already I'm having such a better time with it. Just 7 days on.
It's been such a great year for, like, I mean, this is the apex of it, but playing a game at the same time as like what feels like every single other person on earth. Like it's one thing to get into something that's kind of like niche that just like appeals to you, or come to something late and have a really good time with it. But I mean, we've had a console launch, we've had a new Kojima game, you know, we've had this like long awaited thing, and just like DK, everything you see on Twitter or X or any kind of site, or like our Discord, just everyone talking about like, it's kind of, I always think about like Breath of the Wild when that came out, and everyone was like, oh, what's this game going to be? And then like everyone talking about it, and everyone just having gone off in different directions and done different stuff. And like this doesn't have that to quite the same extent, but it does have like a version of it where people already are like, oh, I'd accidentally missed this, or like, I managed to take that mini boss out without the dash, or I sort of managed to bypass this guy without really realizing, or I found this little, you know, kind of cheat where I could sit up on a ledge and just kind of do this. Like it's it's so, anything that just is, those things are satisfying in their own right, but also like the discourse of it where you don't want to spoil it per se, but Blueprints is another one, obviously on a bit of a smaller scale, but it really does lend itself to being like, you know what, I'm going to click that spoiler tag. I want to see what other people are finding in this that I hadn't even considered. Or
totally, because there's still, as much as I'm loving it, it's still really fucking hard, and you feel like okay, there is going to be a way to do this easier. Someone's stumbled across something. I've missed something. Like, it has, that level of depth where, the community comes into it as well. And it's really, really fun to see how other people are tackling this game. It's, it's C+, like you say.
Speaking of tackle, it's time for us to get out of here and beat our own tackles.
That's right. That's what we do in between episode records every week.
That's what we do on the bonus episode. We just whip it out.
Yeah.
And if that sounds appealing to you, then get onto Patreon. You can support the show, get a bonus show every week where we talk about movies, we talk about TV shows, talk about all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And it helps support the show, helps keep the show going, and it's hugely, hugely appreciated by us. You get to go in our Discord and you get to chat about all these games as they're coming out. You get to chat about the directs as they're happening and the state of plays as they're happening and all that good stuff.
Yeah, or the most active channel of all, Filthy Casuals Pets, where we all post photos of our cute, adorable little pets.
That's right.
So, it's very much appreciated if you can support us, because it literally keeps the show going, and we truly appreciate it. Patreon.com/filthycasualspod.
That was the good thing about last week, is that I thought we might get a bit of hate for our not even that we were mild on it, just that we haven't played enough of Silksong and we were like glowing. But thankfully you announced that you got a dog, and so that ended up being the only part of the episode that anyone had any commentary on whatsoever.
I can announce officially I still have a dog. So any hopefully that again distracts any ill intentions from the commenters, but no, it's always great to chat in the Discord. We do still have the Facebook group, but people just were hating Facebook, and we all basically migrated to Discord. But do encourage signing up for Discord if you're one of those people who never has had that one. It's very active and it's a very positive and fun community.
Well, that is going to do us for another week. Thank you very much for joining us on Filthy Casuals. We'll see you next time. And as we say here, at the end of at the end of every episode of Filthy Casuals, happy 40th, Mario. Time to get into model trains.